Hello students, so today we will see pneumatics. So last time we have seen hydraulics. Now let us see what is meant by pneumatics and various systems. Now let us start with components of pneumatic system. So here you can see compressor. This is the inlet and outlet of compressor. To the inlet, cooler is connected. To the outlet, this is the cooler. Then there is a separator. Then there is a reservoir. Here you can see. Then there is a valve. Then this is the air preparation and control elements, that is FRL, that we are going to see in next slide. And this is the air preparation and control element. This is the air conducting element. You can see here this piping. And finally the air will be supplied to this air actuator. So these are the various components of pneumatic system. So I repeat, pneumatic system consists of compressor plant, then air preparation and control elements, then air conducting elements, and finally air actuators. So before air actuator there will be valves which will control the flow of the air. In the below you can see there is a symbolic representation of structure. So here this is the symbol for filter, then compressor, then this is the separator, then this is the FRL unit, then this is the direction control valve, this is the actuator, and this is the muffler or silencer. So you can see here this is the silencer. So this is about components of pneumatic systems. Then let us see pneumatic air preparation. Now pneumatic air preparation is done by FRL unit. So FRL unit consists of filter, regulator and lubricator. So air preparation will have a one unit called as FRL unit. So in the figure you can see filter, regulator and lubricator. Now let us see function of each component. Filter is used to pass clean air to the actuator. So filter will not allow any impurity in the air. So it will block the impurity in the air at the filter itself. In case of regulator, regulator will maintain the specified pressure. So whatever air that is supplied by compressor, that has to be supplied to the actuator to the required pressure, and there will be some pressure drop so that pressure drop is compensated by using regulator. The next component is lubricator. So after passing air through the filter and regulator, then it will go to lubricator. So in order to lubricate the various parts of hydraulic cylinder, a small amount of lubricator is mixed with air, and that small amount of lubricator is mixed at lubricator component. So that lubricator will ensure that there will be sliding motion of piston in the cylinder, so there will not be any friction during sliding of the piston. So that's why lubricator is provided in the pneumatic system. In the below you can see the symbol for separator, then pressure regulator, and this is the lubricator. So all this is combined into one unit, that is FRL unit. So you can see here. Then next part is pneumatic cylinders. So there will be two types of cylinder, that is single acting air cylinder and double acting air cylinder. So let us see single acting cylinder air cylinder first. So you can see here, this is the cylinder, this is the piston, or this is the connecting rod, then this is the head which is fixed to this cylinder tube by using bolts here, and there is only one port that is provided here. So from this port pressurized air will be supplied. So this is the piston, then piston rod. So this is pressed, again this return spring, then there will be sealings like O-ring here, then V packing is provided here, so that there will not be any friction. So this is how a single acting cylinder is made of. So in case of single acting cylinder, we will be having only motion, only in one direction, either forward or reverse. So here we are going to connect pressurized air. So pressurized air will go through this port, and it will exert the pressure here on the piston. So we will be having the forward motion of this piston. So we will be having the forward motion when the pressure at this end exceeds the pressure of spring, then we will be having forward motion. And if at all the spring pressure is greater than the pressure that is provided by air, then we will be having backward motion, or the piston will come to its original position. Then this is the another type, that is double acting air cylinder. So in case of double acting cylinder, we will be having forward as well as backward motion. So instead of one, we will be having two ports. So this is the first port and this is the second port. So in this figure you can see this is the piston rings, O-rings. This is the piston connecting rod. This is the V-packing. And by reversing the airflow either to this port or another port, we will be having forward or backward motion. So this was about pneumatic cylinders. Next is pneumatic cylinder mountings. So we have seen workings of pneumatic cylinders. So next thing is how to mount pneumatic cylinders. So there are various ways by which we can mount the pneumatic cylinder or air cylinder. So in this first figure you can see center line mount of air cylinder. So this is the center line and this is the center line mounting of air cylinder. So this is the studs are provided here and they are fixed here. In this figure you can see that. Then next is pivot mounting of air cylinder. So here you can see this is the pivot mounting. So there will be a swinging of this air actuator in this direction. In this figure also you can see this is the pivoting. So we will be having a free motion of air cylinder up and down, and this is the another pivoting here. Next is foot mounting of air cylinder. So we can foot mount the air cylinder or air actuator here. So we will be having L bracket. So we can tighten this air cylinder to the ground. So this was about pneumatic cylinder mountings. Next is direction control valves. So we have seen that direction control valves are used to direct the flow of air to the different ports that is provided in the air actuator. So here you can see in the first figure 2x2 direction control valve. So here 2 means there will be 2 ports. So in the figure you can see here P port and A port, and another 2 means 2 position. So 2x2 means 2 ports and 2 position DC valve. Okay. So here we will be providing pressurized air to this port. So we will be having either a forward or a backward motion if we change the ports. Now in the another figure you can see 3x2 DC valve. So we will be having 3 ports A, R and P and 2 positions. So here in the symbol you can see here these are the 2 positions. First position is mentioned here, this is the second position. And this is how this 3x2 DC valve is connected to actuating cylinder, single actuating cylinder. Then this is the 4x2 DC valve. That means we will be having 4 ports A, B, P and R, and 2 positions, first position, second position. So now these are the 4 ports, among which A and B, these are the 2 ports. P is pressure port and R is for return or air return to atmosphere. So in the figure there are 2 positions, normal position and actuated position. So when this valve is in the normal position, it will work like here. Pressurized air will be connected to this P port. So from this P port, air will go to port A, since this valve is not actuated, and in between there is a passage. So when in normal position this valve is closed, so air has to go to from P to A and from B to R to return. Okay, so this is for normal position. And in case of actuated position, that means when this valve is pressed, what will happen? This port will get closed. So from pressure, the air will pass to port B, and from A, through this passage, air will go to port R when there will be actuated position. So in the figure, in the normal position we will be having forward stroke, and in the actuated position we will be having return stroke or retract stroke. This is how 4x2 DC control valve works. Now in the another part, there are 5 ports are provided, and we will be having 2 direction, E, P, R, A and B. These are the 5 ports, and we will be having 2 positions. This is how direction control valve works. Now next is pneumatic valve actuation methods. Now there are various methods by which pneumatic valves can be operated. So various ways are mechanical, electrical, pneumatic and electro-pneumatic. So under pneumatic there are 4 ways, that is push button, then pedal, foot pedal, then plunger, and then by using roller. So these are the 4 ways. By using these 4 ways we can actuate the valve. Then next method is electrical. So under electrical, solenoid operated valve can be used, and the symbol is likewise in this figure, you can see. Now next way is by using pneumatic. So we are providing impulse of pneumatic signal here, so it is impulse operated, so symbol is like this. And finally there is a electro-pneumatic way by which we can operate the valve or actuate the cylinder. So these are the 4 ways, that is mechanical, electrical, pneumatic and electro-pneumatic. These are the 4 ways. By using these 4 ways we can actuate the cylinder. Then there is a sequencing circuit here. So now in the figure you can see these are the 2 cylinders A and B. This is the FRL unit. This is the 4x2 DC valve, 4 ports and 2 position, again 4x2 DC valve. So initially what will happen when we start supply of the pressurized air will go, it will come to this point, then it will go to this tubing, then this port to this end, then we'll be having forward motion for cylinder B. At the same time it will come here, since this button or this push button is not operated, again it will go here. Since this is also not operated, then it will come here, here. Again we will be having forward motion for cylinder A, right? So initially we will be having forward motion for both this cylinder A and B, and when we press this valve, then we will be having these port connected with each other. So air will be flowing through this line to this line, and it will be giving signal to this DC valve. Pivoting is happen and valve will change its position. So here we will be having backward motion of the actuator A. So when the cylinder A is pushed completely backward here, the cam is there, so cam will press this button and this valve will get actuated. So when this valve will get actuated, this port is connected to this port and this port is connected to this port, so we will be having backward motion for this cylinder B. So this is how the cylinders will works in sequence. So initially when we start the operation, we have to press this valve. And finally electro-pneumatic valves, you can see in the figure. There are various types of electro-pneumatic valves are there. These are some electro-pneumatic valves. Thank you.